Heavenly Father, today we have come here to taste the word of you. As Psalm 34:8 says, taste and see the Lord is good. Yes, Father, we are going to taste your word today. Give us wisdom, power, so understanding, knowledge, so that understand what is written in your words. Yes, Father, we ask in your precious name. Amen. As we know, today's theme is second coming of Jesus Christ on earth. This is a future event. Not only this, it will be, before this, there will be rapture. We all know that. And we all are waiting for the Christ to receive us. As in John 14 it says, well, Christ says, I am going to prepare a place for you. And after that, I will come back to receive you. So that is we call rapture. Today I am not going to tell you anything on rapture, that is a further issue. But I am saying after the rapture what will happen? After the rapture, Jesus will come down on earth again. For what he will come? Basically two reasons will be there. For Jesus will come down on earth. Mind it, on earth. He has already came on earth. We celebrate as a Christmas. On that time he came as a serving servant. Serving servant, that is what written is Philippians 2:7. I think most of them you must be knowing why Jesus came to the first. Now the second time he is coming, he will come for taking some revenge from this Satan. The scenario is like that. Satan was cast down from earth, from heaven to earth. That I will be reading here. Just wait for a while. Scenario is this. Satan is here on the earth. As soon as he will fall down, people, God's people, they are called holy people who is selected by God. Who are they? Jewish people is now waiting because all the believers are gone during the rapture. So who left there? Only the Jewish people are left here. But they are the chosen people. God doesn't want to destroy them with the Satan. So what Satan is standing here, Jewish people is also here. So what Satan will do, he will try to kill those Jewish people. For that, what Jesus will do, he will come down and he will take them to a place where he will protect them. And that place, I am going to read from, just let us check it once again, Mathew 24, as we have already read that. Verses 15. Now it says here, so when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel. What is this abomination of desolation? I will tell you in a minute. So what happens? So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place. What is that holy place? We will also check it. Let the reader understand. So Jesus is telling, this is a Olivet discourse. Jesus is on the olive tree. Jesus is telling these things to his disciples. Scholars says this is the longest discourse with Jesus with the disciples, and that happened on the Passion Week. On that day was Tuesday. That is also it was proved by the scholars. So that is now how the Jesus is telling this. Next step, let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Now it's talking about those who are staying in Judea. Now who are the people who are staying in Judea? Okay, so we have to check this. Right now in Judea, Jewish people are staying there. Bible says about Jewish people are there. And who are Jewish people? They are the chosen one of God. So he is asking, flee to the mountains. Those Jewish people over there, he is asking, God is asking, Jesus is asking, flee to the mountains. Why? Why to flee mountains? And what is this mountain is? Which mountain is talking about? So I am going to tell you, before this abomination of dissolution, that point, I will tell you what these mountains are. Say mountains. So mountains, you see the picture of diagram of Israel in the north and the south. North mein there is army Syria. There is she always try to beat Israel. And in the south we have Egypt. On the left we have Mediterranean Sea. In the north, on the east there is a mountain, whole range of mountain. Jesus is talking about those mountains. And where is that mountain? Mountain is in place called Edom. Okay, Edom. There is a place in Edom called Bozrah. So what Jesus is telling, flee to the mountain. The mountain, why they are fleeing? Because Jesus has kept a place for those remnant Jewish people to take them to hide there. To take them to hide there and protect it from Satan. Well, Satan is standing there, he is already fallen down. That also we will see when we come to the Revelation chapter. I am not a preacher, I just want to tell you. I am not going to preach you anything. Because preacher has a difficult task to perform. What is the duty of preacher? This is mentioned in our New Testament. There, New Testament, you see, just a moment. So, duty of a preacher is to give the instruction, do this, do that, do this. But I am not going to share anything, do this or do not do this. I am only interested to tell you what are inside the Bible, which is hidden from us, we don't understand. So for that only I studied Bible. I think you all must have studied it. That is the fact. But how to study, that is the main point. So here I am telling you, let us come back to our mountains, what I was telling you. These mountains are in Edom. Particular place, I will be reading that Jesus was there, the place called Bozrah. Bozrah, have you heard about that name? We will first see in Amos 1:12. Amos 1:12. Page number 971. If you want to read, you read. 971. Amos 1:12. It says here, so I will send a fire upon Teman, and it will devour the strongholds of Bozrah. The word here, Bozrah. Keep it in mind. This is the place God is talking. Jesus is talking. He will take all his remnant from this attack of Satan who is standing there. So the Bozrah is the place. We will further check it out. And why he will take them? He will keep them in Bozrah as a hiding place. This place is already there. That I will tell you just a moment. So Bozrah is the place, what it says. So I will send a fire upon Teman. What is this Teman is? Teman is a place in Edom. It's a town. So what he says, it will devour the strongholds of Bozrah. Stronghold of Bozrah, he will devour, he will desolate that by fire. This is the one point. Now here question, why God is doing this? Because in a hiding place, what we see, in a hiding place, there should be no other movement. Hiding place means hiding. We say we are going to hide that particular place. So in that place only I will be there, no other. That is the point. So God is making this place as a hiding place for Jewish people, and he wants to clear from mankind. Okay, that is the point of mine. So he will devour the strongholds of Bozrah. He will try to, so nobody there can stay in that place. That then only it will become a hiding place, isn't it? Now the second reading I have taken from Micah 2:12. Micah 2:12. The page number is 987. You can check it out. 987. Micah 2:12. It says, I will surely assemble all of you, Jacob. Talking about Jacob, Israeli people, Jewish people. I will gather the remnant of Israel. These are the Jewish people. I will set them together like a sheep in a fold. What is sheep in a fold? Okay, sheep in a fold is a place where sheep are kept. It is surrounded by walls round the clock, and there is only one opening. The beauty of this sheepfold, there is only one opening. So he says, I will surely assemble all of you, all the Jacob, means all the Jewish people, and I will gather the remnant of Israel, again the Jewish people, and I will set them together like a sheep in a fold, where he will keep a place like a sheep. And this place will tell you in a moment, sheepfold. Actually, God has already made this place. All we have to find out where is that place. The modern name of that place is Petra. Okay, Petra, many of you must have heard about it. Petra? No. Petra is now one of the 7 wonders of the world. My dear, one of the 7 wonders of the world. It has become tourist attraction. Many people visit these places, lakhs and lakhs, every year. I will tell you the beauty of that Petra. Before that, want to finish it. What will happen in this place at Bozrah? There is another word. Please take it out with me. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 13. Jeremiah 49, 13. Page number 858. Page number 858. Verse number 13. Jeremiah chapter 13, chapter 49, verse 13. It says, For I have sworn by myself, declares the Lord, that Bozrah, mind it, same word Bozrah, this is the place in Edom, shall become a horror, a town, a waste of course, a waste. God is planning to waste that place. Why it is doing? He is doing because he wants to make it a hiding place. Hiding place means there should be no human being there. So he is already preparing that. In matter of fact, God has prepared this place. And all her cities shall be perpetual waste. He will dissolve everything. He will make the desolate that place. This is the idea of making a hiding place. Right? Now let us talk about that Bozrah itself. The modern name of Bozrah is Petra. Okay. What is the design of the Petra that I am going to tell you? It is like a sheepfold. Sheepfold, just here I have told you, sheepfold. The beauty of this place is it has got only one entrance. Normally in every sheepfold you will see only one entrance. So this Petra has also one entrance. People go and visit that place. And its entry is only 12 feet to 40 feet wide. So small. So at a time there will only people will go through it. When you close that place, nobody can enter it. So God is making this a hiding place. So hiding place is only like sheepfold. And Petra is designed for that. It is already there in the earth. It is in Jordan right now. Petra under Jordan. Okay. So that place, when the scenario is this, Satan is down to the earth, cast from the heaven in the earth. Jewish people are there in the earth. So what will happen to the Jewish people? So their God will take them to Petra. That also I will read it to tell you. Now let us come about Petra once, little bit more about this Petra. If you enter from its entrance, there is a very
narrow
path is like that. It's about 1.5 mile through which one has to pass it, and it's through under cave. The people called it a sleep. The passage is called sleep. So when you pass through, hardly there is any open air place from where one can see the atmosphere. So one crossing the around 1.5 kilometer, then the main city will appear. This is the only city in the world which has got only one center. So that is how the God has made those places for hiding place for this remnant. Already is planned and already is there. People is visiting that place for that reason. As soon as one will enter there, suddenly you will see the grandeur. Entire mountains of those range. I am talking about Edom. Edom is there. Place is full of mountains. Originally, Nabateans was the habitat there. Nabateans was there, their king and all these things. These Nabateans was descendant of Ishmael. We have seen in Bible Ishmael. So they are the descendant of Ishmael. What is the beauty of those? They are very craftsmen. They just carved the entire mountains in a building, monuments,
tomb,
and their shelter, their place of living. Because there is no ground, they can't make it a building like here we have. Only everywhere there is a mountain. So what they decided, they cut those mountains into cave. For their residence also they make buildings. And the beauty of that building is, it has come under the seventh wonder of the world. Okay, one of the seventh wonder of the world. So we can imagine how beautiful this place is. People are visiting every year. Even church group from so many places they are visiting. From India also the people go and visit it. There is a church in Bangalore. Pastor Johnson, he took his entire group there to show all these things. Because it's a God-made place. As I told you, in Jeremiah it is clearly written. Now the thing is this. As soon as one enters there, suddenly we see these huge buildings and buildings. Normally it is called treasury. They call it a treasury. Treasury is a place where we keep our valuables. Normally it is a government but treasury, we keep our valuables there. But in this place there is no valuable things. Only we can see the beauty of that place. Nickname they call treasury because it's really very beautiful. Petra means Edom, the place is Edom. Edom means red. So the whole area, buildings and everything red, scarlet, even to some extent blue also. So it's a magnificent place. So God has already made this place. Right? So the time comes. Now I will come back to the Mathew again, chapter 24. About that word, if you see the abomination of desolation, what we have heard, Mathew 24, verse 15, I am going to read again. The second word I want to mention here, that I will tell you. Matthew 24 verse 15. My first reading was from that only. Here. Here it says, so when you see the abomination of desolation, spoken prophet Daniel. What is this? So I will tell you about this. I have already spoken about the flee to the mountains. That is over. Now come to the first point. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, what is this place? I will just tell you about this place. At present in Israel, there is no temple for worship there. The original temple built by Solomon was destroyed. Later on, Nebuchadnezzar has made a second temple. That too was destroyed by Romans in 70 AD. You must have heard about it. 70 AD, Romans destroyed the temple. Now there is no temple. And now the Muslims dominated there, with that place. On the place where Jesus ascended in Israel, from that place, Muslim has made their own mosque there. Israel want to make their temple in that particular place. But it is not possible. Politically it is not possible. There will be a war also. So they are quiet now. Antichrist, Satan, we call it, he is taking this, will take advantage. I tell you, this is future event. The Antichrist will take advantage of this. What he will do? He will make a covenant with Israeli people for 7 years. He will make a covenant for 7 years with Israeli people, and he will make a temple for Israeli people. Okay, 7-year covenant, make a temple there, and what it says, he will make a treaty 7 years, but after midpoint of that 7 years, this midpoint means 3.5 years. I will be using this word midpoint. Keep in mind, because there is another steps which related to this midpoint that I will tell you in a minute. So it says, now I am coming to the original Mathew 15 verse 1. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel standing on the holy place, okay, let the reader understand. So I am making this to understand you all. Let those who are in Judea. Now, when this 7 years period started, Satan has made a covenant, built a temple, but just half time, 3.5 years, Satan will break this covenant with Israel. What he will do? He will himself sit on the temple, declaring himself as a god. Okay, so midpoint, Satan will stand on this temple, he will break the covenant with Israel, he himself will declare he is the god. Suppose, see the situation, he is declaring himself as a god. So that is why Matthew says, when you see the abomination of desolation, so this man is called abomination of desolation, spoken by the prophet Daniel, and these things are already spoken by Daniel in his chapter 9:27. Keep in mind, if you have time, you read some. If you go home back, keep this verse, Daniel 9:26, 9:27. There, everything is described by Daniel long before. So the scenario is not this clear. The man of sin is standing on the temple. That place you see. Jesus is telling, when this will happen, then you flee to the mountains. Now everything is clear, I hope. This man will stand on the holy temple. If this happens, then you flee to the Judea. Why? Because Satan is there, Jewish people are there. So Satan will try to destroy Jewish people. It is his nature. He is about to take. So before this, one more verse I will tell you, it will give you more interest. Now the thing is this. This happens in just after 3.5 years of the government in heaven. So after 3 by 4 years, what I was saying, 3.5 years, 3.5 years, flee to the mountains. At this point of time, 3.5 years, there is another action is taking place. That is equally important. So this I will read Revelation 12 verses 7. Revelation 12, page 1319. Easy to find out. Here above the heading is written as Satan thrown down to earth. It is written there. Just you go through it, you can see that. Page number 1319. Revelation 12 verses 7. Heading is Satan thrown down to earth. So this is the time I was telling you that Satan will be fallen down from earth. Now war arose in heaven. किसके बीच? Between Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon, the soul Satan. And the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. Okay? And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan. Okay, so now the scenario is clear, picture is clear. At the midpoint, there will be war in heaven, and Satan will be fallen down, forced to cast out from that heaven. And he is now on, where he is on earth. Now it is clear, Satan is here, Jewish people are also there. So what will happen? He will try to kill all those Jewish people. At this moment of time, he says, flee to the Judea. Verse says, 24, flee to the Judea. So when the half of the period of that period is over, two actions are taking place. Satan is cast down, at the same time, Jesus is telling to the disciples, flee to the mountains. So they all will flee to mountains. And the place where they will flee, the hiding place God has already provided them. And that hiding place, modern Petra. As I told you all about this Petra, what will be the shape and size and all. So they will enter in that. And that place, Petra, there is a huge place. Lakhs and 2 lakhs people can accommodate on those buildings which is already carpeted and everything. Okay. So it is ready, all set. Only is waiting for the second coming of Jesus. Before that, rapture will take place. Okay. For after rapture, all the believers, during rapture, all the believers has gone. Only people will left, the Jewish people. For them, God has already prepared a place, and they will, God will take them to that place, and they will stay. Now, what will happen? How long they will stay there? This I will read it here again. The same Revelation chapter 12, you read verse 6, page 1319. And the woman fled into the wilderness. He is talking about a wilderness. If you start reading from chapter 12, from verse 1, you will get a picture. There is a woman. So this woman is nothing but Israel. Nation of Israel is talking about. So now it says, and the woman fled into the wilderness. The Israeli people, presently Jewish people, fled into the wilderness. Wilderness is talking about the same place. Same place where at the hiding place. Where she has place prepared by God. Clearly mentioned. Where she will hide? A place prepared by God. So this is the place I was talking about with Petra. Hiding place, God has already made that. In which she is to be nourished for 1260 days. How long she will be there? Nourished means God will take care of everything. Right from the food and all, God will provide. Like the manna He provided during Exodus. Israeli people, when they are coming out of Egypt, God they provided manna for them. As long as they said for 40 years, God provided manna. So here they have to stay 3.5 years. So naturally God will take care of it. Yeah, it is clearly mentioned here, in which she is to be nourished. Nourished for 1260 days. And this 1260 days in Jewish calendar, 1 year is 360 days. Our calendar is 365.25 But their calendar is 360 days. If you divide this 1260 by 360, it comes to 3.5. 3.5 is nothing but 3.5 years. So this is the midpoint of that Daniel's prophecy. 7 year tribulation period, the midpoint. So I told you I will be talking about only the midpoint. So midpoint is, here is one point that Jewish people is kept there for 3.5 years. When the people are fleeing to Judea, midpoint of tribulation. How long they will stay? Again 3.5 years. That means the whole 7 years will be completed. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? I hope you are. Now, here I will be reading another same Mathew, Revelation 12. It will be more clear to you. Chapter 12, Revelation, verse 14, starting verse 14. Now, the same thing is written here. But the woman was given the 2 wings of the great eagle so that might fly from the serpent. Might fly from the serpent means from devil. Might from the serpent into the wilderness. What is this place? Wilderness, the same place, Petra. To the place where she is to be nourished, again the same word, for a time, times and a half a time. See, I will explain you what is this. Time, times and half a time. Jewish calendar of 360 days. 1 year, 360 days. Time is 1 360 days. Times means 2 360, 1 is 720. Then half time. Half of the 360, 180. You add up, it comes to be 1260 days. Okay, 1260 days divided by 360 comes to be 3.5. Half year. Prophecy is half year. Okay, so that means the whole prophecy is over now. Starting from 7 years period, at the midpoint, 2 actions will be taken. One, Satan will be cast down. Another, people from Judea will flee. Where they will flee, I have already explained. How long they will stay? Another half. So now Daniel's 7 years period is over here. Okay. So what will happen? Before this one interesting point I have already tell you. Take out Luke chapter 8, 1, 10. Chapter 10 verse 18. Luke chapter 10. This is very interesting thing which I like to mention you. Luke 10 verses 18. Luke 10 verses 18. Here Jesus is talking. He says, and he said to them, Jesus said to them, I saw Satan falling like a lightning from heaven. Mind you, the word is using here, Jesus is telling, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. What is this lightning from heaven? What Jesus is telling? There is a catch point here. We have to see very minutely. The 2 actions taking place at the midpoint, as I told. One is fallen, Satan is cast down from her, and same time, people are, Jewish people are fleeing to the mountains. 2 actions at a time. This falling of Satan is such a lightning, there is no time gap. And had there been any time gap, then at that midpoint, cannot precisely we can say at the same time Jewish people fled to the mountains. Both the action is taking place at 3.5 times, up to 3.5 years, and has to be at same immediately. So that is the word used. I have seen this Satan falling like a lightning. Lightning means immediately. He is there in the heaven and he falls onto the earth. So there is no time gap. And what I mean to say, so this action is taking place immediately. 2 are there. 7 years period is over. Now after the 7th period, what will happen? Question is this. So that is the point when Jesus will come down to earth. Second coming of, our theme is second coming of Jesus on earth. So this is the time Jesus will come down. Why he will come? As I told you before, why he will come? He will take out all his remnants from that hiding place. Hiding place means Petra. And where he will take? He will take them all back to Israel. Okay, and that picture I will tell you. You see, read this. Zechariah chapter 14 verse 4. Page number 1017. 1017. I have used many quotations here just to clarify everything. I want to teach you all the things so that you can remember this thing even if you go from here. 1017, page number. Chapter 14, Zechariah. Verses 4. Here we will see about Mount of Olive, number 4. Now what happens? Jesus has come down. He will take all his remnant, Jewish people, from Petra. On that day, his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olive. Mount of Olive, Israel. He will go back to Israel. That lies before the Jerusalem on the east. Clear? And the Mount of Olives shall be split into two, from east to west. Nothing to explain here, it's clearly mentioned, east to west, by a very wide valley, so that one half of the mount shall move northward, and the other half southward, and you shall flee to the valley of the mountains. And all the Jewish people, along with this, for the valley of the mountains shall reach the Azel, the place, and you shall flee as you fled from the earthquake. Now this is the scenario. God will take back them to Israel. Cross Israel, enter the Israel, Mount of Olive. Now there is one more interesting thing I would like to tell you. There is an eastern gate. Have you heard about that eastern gate? This is the eastern gate. When Jesus came on earth, he entered through that gate to Jerusalem. Remember those stories. It is written there. I think you might have read. Jesus went for the first time through that eastern gate only. Then he entered along with his disciples. Now, presently the Muslims are dominating there. So they have an apprehension that Jesus will come again, and as he is told, he will use eastern gate to entering Jerusalem. So they are afraid. So what they did, they sealed that gate. They sealed the entire gate from outside, inside, everything, so that Jesus cannot enter. This is their planning. But at this point of time, when Jesus returns second time, he is taking his all remnant and he will go to Israel, Jerusalem, and from which gates he will enter? The same eastern gate. He will enter that gate, though it is sealed, but he will enter through that. Okay, and he will establish his kingdom for 1,000 years. That the Bible says. Okay, I think my time is over. There is a lot of things, but today I will stop it here. One more thing I would like to write. Bible is a very interesting book, I tell you. Only thing we have to read. Normally what we do, we are in a hurry. Get up in the morning, whatever chapter we see, we read it, have a prayer, and then we go to our workplace. That is our common, everybody's routine one. But I tell you, you read the Bible, you will feel the essence. What I told you in the first. Taste the Lord. Taste the Lord. Taste the Lord means taste this word. I tell you, beautiful book everywhere, every step. But how to read that? Every year we have a Bible calendar. We are following that calendar. It covers the entire portion. I agree. But it is of no use, I tell you. To take out the essence from this book, you have to go through whole book. As you see, there is a verse, the entire Bible is written by the inspiration of God. 2 Timothy verse 3:16. Remember this. 2 Timothy verse 3, chapter 3 verse 16. There it is written, entire Bible is written by the inspiration of God. What is this inspiration of God? This is the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is nothing but our God, triunion, Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. So it is basically written by God Himself. And the book which is written by God, is it not our duty to read it throughout, right from the Genesis to Revelation? We have a calendar every year, we go through it, but it is not sufficient to read those chapters of what God has written. We go through, we read it. So normally what happens? I will take just one or 2 minutes more. Please have patience. I am telling you something very interesting for you, all of you, benefit of all of you. That is how to read the Bible. In our academic career, when we promoted to any next class, what we do? We take out the syllabus, find out the portion, and then prepare according to portion for the final exams. Similarly, actually, when I started reading Bible, so what I decided, everybody knows in the total there are 65 books, 66 books in the Bible, 39 plus 27. You all know. But how to read? How many chapters are in their New Testament? 27 books. How many? So what I decided, I counted all the chapters. It comes to be 260 chapters. 260. Similarly, if you count the New Testament, all the chapters in the New Testament portion, it comes to be 9 to 9. 9 to 9. Figure is, you can remember, 9 to 9. So, I thought it, how can I finish this entire Bible? So the New Testament is 260 chapters. So I decided if I read 10 chapters a day, I can finish this Bible, the New Testament, in 26 days. Is it not? Very easy. 260 chapters. Want to finish, per day you read 10 chapters, you can finish in 26 days. Make it 1 month. So 1 month we can finish the entire, this New Testament. Similarly, if you add up 929, you can finish this. It is almost 4 times of the New Testament. 260, 4 times 929. So we can finish this Old Testament in 4 months. So entire Bible, we can finish it 5 months. Okay. Here I would like to tell you something fishy is going on in our society. What is happening? We are preparing the boys for 4 months and handing over this Bible and ask them to go and preach. This is happening. Many churches, they are doing like that. They are preparing the boys in their Bible college, teach them for 4 months, giving them a Bible and said, go and preach the Bible. Can a person can read what I have observed? It takes to finish the whole Bible, it will take 5 months, cover it. How can they teach without reading the book at least once? Now the question is this, once you read, you won't understand. I took 4 months to understand. After reading 4 times this New Testament, then I came to understand Luke chapter 4 verses 17. That was my mission to tell you about Luke, but since the time is already over, sometime any other day if I get, I will tell you more about it. Thank you for listening.